All right, here we go. G in the house this morning.
In the house.
Welcome to the Aired Out Podcast. It is G's spot this morning. Thursday is when we have him on the air, and I love the shirt, buddy.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
a really
you.
badass shirt.
Yeah, got
dude.
it down in Miami while I was on the yacht.
Really?
On the yacht. I need some Miami weather, though.
Facebook question of the day. I have to start out with this morning. Should we do the weather first, though?
Do the weather.
All right. It looks like we're at 36 degrees right now.
Feels like 90.
Doesn't it, though?
I mean, if you're going to do the feels like.
Yeah.
Feels like 90.
You know, the National Weather Service can't do that anymore. They can't say wind chill factor because it's confusing to many people.
Oh, well, sun heat factor today is 90.
Is it 36 with a wind chill of 18? I mean, it's just confusing people, and
make sense.
They're going to do away with it now.
Yeah,
apparently.
Nice. Now they're going to talk about the sun heat factor.
Yeah.
The sun heat factor is 90.
Well, I'm showing 36 in Barrie. We're looking at partly cloudy skies later today and 50. Tonight, clear and 30. Tomorrow, Friday, cloudy. Showers moving in really late around 53. Saturday, cloudy and 38.
It's supposed to be 70 on Saturday.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's the low. That's the low.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you looking at?
I'm sorry.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, get your act together.
That's the low.
Yeah. Yeah, low.
Easter Sunday, they're saying partly cloudy and 50.
You celebrate Easter?
It's
right?
kind of a... Listen,
right? It's an excuse to eat.
I do celebrate Easter.
Oh, nice.
I do.
Nice.
And I have some pretty strong and personal opinions about that, but I generally don't go there.
It's a thing. It's a holiday.
I have some beautiful stories about Easter, actually.
I used to enjoy Easter. I used to.
Did you hear that because of the egg shortage, G? Well, I shouldn't say shortage. It's more of the price of eggs.
Yes.
Can you tell that I've only had half a cup of coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell that I'm drinking my zero with number 4 in it today?
Just
number 4. Number 4 today, people. I am ready to go.
Because of the price of eggs, and the people we color the eggs, we hide the eggs, these Easter eggs.
Yes.
More people now are apparently resorting to potatoes. I'm not kidding.
Color your potatoes, baby.
Peeling potatoes, and then you dip them in the dye, and you color them.
Do you eat them afterwards?
Well, it's food coloring, buddy. I mean, you could.
Yeah, but food coloring isn't necessarily healthy for you, though.
And then also marshmallows.
Well, that's cute.
You know,
Yeah.
we dip them in the dye, and then we hide those out in the yard.
You know, I was walking.
I mean, the Easter Bunny hides those out in the yard.
I was walking Figgy the other day, and somebody had a bunch of plastic Easter eggs hanging from the trees. And I looked at Jed and I said, "What the fuck is that? What is that? Plastic eggs hanging from a tree outside."
Because that's
No, stop. You know, I'm going to
that's
have.
festive.
I know, and Shirley's probably going to get up my ass about it. Come on,
Yes.
G.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, even Beckley is like.
Becky always.
Becky is like, are you having a rough day, Chi?
No. Becky, I'm going to say something later that's going to really, really get you going. Yeah.
Get me going or get Becky going?
Get Becky and Shirley both. They're both going to yell at me today.
Facebook question of the day. Next year, the Montpelier Roxbury Public Schools will be banning students from carrying around cell phones and Bluetooth devices in school.
Yeah.
From 7:30 until 3 o'clock, all devices will be stored in envelopes, neatly organized, and placed into plastic milk crates, which will then be loaded onto carts.
Yeah.
This was a story I read in the Bridge.
That's awesome.
What do you think about this?
I think that's awesome. I do. I really think that cell phones and iPads and all are a huge distraction in school. I don't mind using computers in school for educational purposes, things like that. But kids shouldn't be on their phone in school. I don't think kids should have phone especially elementary kids should not have any phones except maybe a cell phone that's programmed with either 911 or their parents' phones in it, phone numbers. And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. One of my dearest friends, her son, elementary school, up at Barry City over here, he stays after school for an after-school program. And at the end of the program, he gets picked up by either his grandmother or his father. And there was a mixed communication, and the father thought the grandmother was picking him up, and the grandmother thought that the father was picking him up. So at the end of the program, at 5 o'clock, the teacher said goodbye to the kids and left. Didn't stick around, which is her responsibility, didn't stick around and wait for all the kids to be picked up by their family. And the kid was standing outside the school alone for a half an hour, and he didn't have a phone. So he couldn't call his mom and say, "Hey, is anybody coming?" So when the father got home, he said, "Hey, where's my son?" And the wife said, "I thought you were picking him up." He says, "No, I thought your mom was picking him up." And the kid started walking home alone. And the father, thank goodness, got in the car and rushed up and found the kid walking and picked him up. But number one, I'm okay with a child having a cell phone if only numbers in there are the parents, the grandparents, and 911. And why was the teacher, number two, leaving without waiting for all the kids to be picked up? So that's the only reason I think a child should have a cell phone in school.
Right. Got some comments this morning on the post right here, and I would love to share some of them with you. Taylor says, unless they're patting kids down every morning, I don't see how this will be any more effective than just saying no phones during class.
Well, no phones, right.
If they want to have their phones, they'll find a way regardless of rules. I'd also imagine this would be a big concern for some parents from a safety and communication standpoint.
Right.
In the event something was happening at school, kids texting their parents can often be the only way they get information on what's happening in real time. Susan says, nope, sorry. My kid would no longer be attending if this were actually enforced. If your kid can't keep the phone in his pocket during class or needs to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes, then he should be punished. Not my kids that use their phones responsibly. My child keeps her phone on silent and only looks at it between class or at lunch. She also is in all honors classes and has A's and B's in all of her classes, so I'd say she's doing just fine. That's talking about one kid.
I'm going to strongly disagree with that. Once the child hits the classroom, there should be a basket or something at the door or by the teacher's desk that the kid puts their phone in and they do their work. And when they leave, they can take their phone. I'm okay with that theory. But you know what? I grew up with no goddamn phones in my pocket when I went to school.
Amen, sister.
All right. So I'm sorry that, oh, yeah, you bought your kid a phone. Good for you. We're very proud of you that you can afford to buy your kid a phone. But the kid shouldn't have it in class. And don't do that. Nope, not my kid. Come on. Yes, your kid. Your kid could be an A student or a D student. The bottom line is, when we grew up and when this person who mentioned that grew up, they didn't have a phone in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So a phone is a distraction, period. It's a distraction when people are driving. Adults drive with a phone in their hand, okay? And that's how accidents happen. Adults walk across the street without looking because they have a phone in their hand, and that's adults. So now you're going to say, nope, not my kid, because my kid is mature enough. Adults aren't even mature enough. So I will challenge that person all the way to the bank. Sorry.
I have said similar things to what you've just said off the air and have been beat up.
I don't care. Beat me up. Cancel me.
And here's why. I love the fact that you don't care.
I don't.
I think that's wonderful because too many of us care about what other people think and we keep our mouths shut. And I think that's great that you say it like it is. But here's why I've been beat up for saying similar things that you've just said. What I've been told is, oh, come on, JD. You know, I understand you didn't have phones back in the 70s and 80s, but these are different times. The communication age is here. It's alive. We need to communicate. Things happen fast. We have the technology. Would you want your kid to not have the technology to get in touch with, turning it back on me and,
Right.
and my kid and stuff? Yes, Glenn. Yes, G. We all survived without a phone. And I might even add, survived quite well.
Yeah, quite well.
We really did.
You know, when my kids, because my kids had phone when they hit a certain age, okay? But when they came home and it was homework time, their phones were put away because their kid goes up to the bedroom, closes the door and says, I'm doing homework, and this is their homework.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, did you see what happened to Johnny at school today? And then the kid goes to school the next day and says, my homework is eaten by my dog, because they didn't do the fucking homework because they were playing on their phone. So you know what? I always took the phone away during homework time. I always shut the TV off during dinner time, okay? And that's just the way it is. So if you say, not my kid's a straight B student and they have their phone with them, congratulations on your kid. But most kids aren't like that.
Well,
so make a standard rule in school that the child is in school to learn, okay? To learn, not to study. Listen, learn, communicate, interact. Otherwise, the kids don't even interact at lunch because they're on their phones. Then do homeschooling. If you're not going to interact, then keep your kid home, okay? And homeschool them. But while they're in school, they're there for socialization, appropriate socialization, not bullying and all that crap. They're there to learn, listen, and get an education, okay? Phones, you know what? Leave them at the front desk. And when you leave, take your phone with you.
Well, that's what's going to happen next year for the Montpelier Roxbury Public Schools. That's exactly what's going to happen. Again, they're going to be taken, put in envelopes, and then those envelopes are going to be put in plastic milk crates. And
I'm not sure it's 100% to take the phones away. If, God forbid, there's a school shooting or there's an emergency, it's good to know that the phone is local enough for the kid to grab and text their family or whatever that there's something going on, okay? So I'm not saying take the phone away from them completely for the whole day, but I'm definitely saying when they're in the classroom and they're learning, the phone should be in a proximity they can reach, but not available for them during learning time. That's my take on it.
I got you, and I hear you loud and clear.
Let's move on.
But here's the thing: the envelopes, the plastic milk crates, and the carts. These supplies, and I was reading about this in the bridge. These supplies are going to cost the Montpelier-Roxbury Public Schools $2,000. $2,000 for plastic milk crates and envelopes.
Yeah, no. Look. Be a responsible adult.
Yeah.
Okay? Teach your children, be responsible, and tell your kids when they're in school they shouldn't be on their phone. So stick the phone up by the teacher's desk in a basket that costs $1.25.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? And spend that $2,000 on the education of our children.
Thank you. God, I love you.
Okay? But put the phones in a basket up at the teacher's desk. All right? Come on. Oh, I bought my kid a phone and they're entitled to keep it on them. Shut up.
Birthdays today. Vicky Morales is on the list today. Rick Lafayette, who's an unbelievable guy. I got to talk with him today. 61 years old. Happy birthday, Rick. Brandy Haynes, Joe Hutchinson, Tammy Baldwin. Happy birthday, Tammy. Mary Ann Simpson, Allie Keene. I'm glancing. Michael Ralph here. Heather Douglas. Mike Ralph. That's a cool last name.
You just
is it Mike or is it Ralph? Is it Ralph or is it Mike?
Yeah.
Devin Gould, Justin Clapp today, Virginia Barron, Tim Kavanaugh is on the birthday list today. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday, everyone.
Today is International, and I'm so glad because this is something you and I are so passionate about. International Bat Appreciation Day.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
We love bats.
Oh, I sit outside all summer waiting for the sun to go down just so a bat goes by, and I go, there's a bat. There's a bat. Do you know every day is International Something Bullshit Day?
No.
They should make every day International Something Bullshit Day because every day there's some bullshit that's international.
I know how much you love bats.
I love them.
You constantly are reading books about them.
Oof.
You're watching documentaries about bats.
I draw bats.
You draw them.
Yeah, I have a bat hat.
You have a bat hat. You have a Batmobile. You have
Yeah.
You have bat art all over your house.
All over.
And
bat shit.
Jed, being the woodworker that he is,
he makes bats out of wood.
He makes bats out of wood.
Yeah.
Out of wood. And you guys have bat houses all over your property.
Yes, all over.
You're one of the biggest bat supporters.
Yeah.
And appreciators that I have ever known.
And today is our day.
It's
our day. Happy Bat Day. Oy, míos.
Come on, though. They do a lot. What do they eat? 1,000 mosquitoes an hour.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is amazing.
It's incredible.
And not only do they take away those mosquitoes that carry viruses, but then themselves and their shit creates viruses. So they're amazing because they eat the viruses so that they can spew the viruses. They're fabulous. They're wonderful creatures.
They make nests in your hair.
In your hair. They make nests in your house.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And they get that feces everywhere, which smells absolutely fabulous.
True story. I mean, Listen, so many of us have experienced having a bat in the house.
Yeah.
Have you?
I went to a showing because I wanted to look at a house. We were looking at houses to buy, and we saw in the basement, in the corner, a bat hanging there.
Thank you. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Yeah. And I said, well, not buying this house.
Francine is saying, I love G. He has no filter, like me.
Should I have a filter?
So many of us do, buddy.
Look, here's the facts, okay? Anybody who knows me knows that they will never guess what's G thinking.
Yeah.
I don't like people saying, I'm not sure if he's being sincere, okay?
Yeah, right.
If it comes out of this mouth, it's because it was in this head.
Yes.
Period. That's it.
And we're going to go there in just a minute.
Oh,
we're
going to go.
We're going to go there in just a minute.
We're going to go in so many places.
But I just want to say, just quickly back to the, damn, look at those fingernails.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, my nails are growing.
Look at those.
My nails are growing again,
Are they,
people. G's back.
Is that like a metallic?
It is. It's a metallic purple. Next week it's going to be, well, it'll still be because I go every other Friday, but then it's going to be metallic silver.
Do you think if I get the GoPro going that we could maybe go over someday and paint Glenn Brummert's fingernails at his house?
Absolutely.
Manicure?
Why not?
All right. So have you been...
Poor Glenn.
Have you been in a house where there's been a bat that got in the middle of the night or whatever, and it's flying around and zipping around? Has that ever happened to you?
Absolutely. Up in Walden.
It has happened to almost all of us.
Up in Walden. That was like a nightmare. Between moose walking down the fucking driveway, bats flying in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, deer eating the apple trees and stuff. Yeah. Do you know
what did you do? Did you do like Glenn using the tennis racket? I mean, what an insensitive
Glenn
animal.
Shame
on you,
Shame.
Glenn.
Call
Tennis
Peter.
racket?
Let's call Peter.
Yeah. You don't use
I'm
a tennis
calling.
racket,
No, you
Glenn.
don't use a tennis racket on them. You put your hand out and go, come here. And then when they land on your hand, you put it by your neck and you let them take a bite out of you.
Yeah.
Okay? Come on, Glenn.
Exactly. Tennis racket.
I lost total respect for him.
I have two. What
Please.
kind of individual would do
He's
something?
probably worried that they're going to land in his beard or something.
Yeah, that's just
Come on,
just
Glenn.
wrong. God, how mean.
You pick on
Disgusting.
me for the colors of my shirts when you use a tennis racket to hit a innocent, cute little bat. Do you know my Figgy looks like a bat? His ears, right? You've seen him.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to bring Figgy in. I was going to bring him in today.
Yeah,
but I'll bring him in
when is
next week.
Figgy coming in?
He's coming in. He's going to be our little mascot.
I had a worker at my house one time, and we built when Lily was like 4, we built a bat house.
Yep.
And we were educating her about bats and the mosquitoes and everything, and bats are wonderful and blah blah blah. And we put a bat house up on way up high on the side of the Gamble side of the house.
Yeah.
And I had a guy that was working, doing some painting and some siding and stuff, and he's up, 5,000 feet up on a ladder, and he had a cell phone in his back pocket, and he's standing there, and he's hearing this beep 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 beep.
The cutest sounds they make.
The
They're
cutest.
adorable. Oh my gosh! And you can talk to them. Beep 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 beep.
And he, about 6 inches from his face, was the bat house, and he pulled his phone out and very quietly called me and was whispering, "Is this a bat house that's 6 inches away from my face?" And I'm like,
Yes.
shit, I forgot to tell you about that. And he's like, "You bastard."
Did you ever see a bat up close?
Oh,
Adorable.
they're so
Those
cute.
teeth are so innocent.
And the little beady eyes and the
Yes,
nose.
and the nose and the ears. Oh, and they just, those ears go back and forth.
Oh,
Oh,
they're
my
so
God. Come
cute.
on.
Fuzzy.
International Bat Day, everybody.
Yeah, let's celebrate. May, the month of May, which is coming up, is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we're going to be talking an awful lot about that. Speaking of mental health, yesterday over at WellSpace, what an incredible experience being in the ice bath. And thanks so much to Arctic Bliss and our young Vandershoot for being there.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Very disappointed that you weren't there and you didn't get in the ice bath.
Listen, I've spent 8 fucking months complaining about this goddamn cold. Why would I put my fucking ass in a fucking ice bath? Meantime, I saw this really fat person who has complained for a year, every year. 12 months out of every fucking year. It's too cold. It's fucking, I hate this weather. Da, 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 da. And this fucking fat person jumped in there.
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Did you just refer to me as the F word?
No, I referred to you as the double F. Fucking fat. And you put your ass in the ice bath, calling me saying, come on down, G. Like I'm stupid enough to come down and jump in that thing.
The medicinal benefits.
Yeah, okay.
The list is a mile long, buddy.
JD, my hands are cold just sitting here. Why would I put my ass in that? I take a shower. If there's not steam coming up and I'm not red when I get out, it's not a warm shower. It is good for you. It is good for you, and it definitely gets the circulation going, and it that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I find other ways for things to be good for me. Ice bath is not one of them.
I would have loved if you were there with me. I would have loved to have gotten in the bath with you. I think that would have been
Why,
wonderful.
you had your rubber ducky?
I had the rubber ducky.
Which was absolutely hysterical, with the middle finger up. The rubber ducky has a little middle finger, which I think is hysterical. Do you know, next time you come to my house, you have to see this. Do you know that I have this wood-carved monkey sitting on a shelf right at my front door?
Yeah.
And it's sitting there, and it's the cutest monkey. It's about this big, and it's wood-carved, and it's sitting there with the finger up like this. And that's my way of welcoming you to my home.
I've seen it.
So your rubber ducky was hysterical. So there is this large person sitting in this ice bath
large.
with this man sitting next to him, coaxing him. Come on, breathe. Deep breath in. Relax. Keep your arms together so no water, cold water goes under your armpits. Sit there. Good. And then when you got out, oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. While I sat comfortably with a cappuccino in my house, okay, looking at it going, what an asshole. Didn't even do it at a 90-degree day. Did it in the cold.
But
With snow coming. You could see the snow coming down.
I felt like $1 million for the rest of the day.
How do you feel today?
Like shit.
Boom! Done. Problem solved. Hey, did you see that 6 people flew up into the atmosphere?
Wait a second. Are we getting into the segment of G's spot called What Burns My Ass?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. You know what burns my ass?
What burns your ass?
What burns my ass is that 6 women went up in a capsule. Here we go, Shirley. Now I'm going to piss you off. Okay? Up in a capsule, which, by the way, looked like a penis. Let's discuss it. That capsule, embarrassing. Went up in a capsule into the atmosphere, and people are now calling them astronauts and women power. Come on, people.
Well, it was only women that were there.
Okay, so now they make this big thing about, hey, you know what? There was a comedian, made me laugh. when he said, Shirley, this is going to piss you off,
Well, it's going to piss off more than just Shirley.
okay? 6 women.
Wait, can we just preface here first that you are repeating what you heard a comedian say?
Yeah.
However, you would also
Say it.
say
Without shame. I'm upset that this comedian on The Daily Show beat me to it.
Okay.
Okay? 6 women finally met society's expectations and reached 0 weight. Love that. Okay? And they've made such a big deal about these 6 women going. You know what? They were passengers, not astronauts.
I think you're just jealous that you weren't on board.
And none of these women paid for it either. It was a publicity thing. Okay? If they said to me, hey, gee, you want to go up? I'd be like, let's do it.
Becky just burned herself because she just spit up her coffee laughing.
See? Well,
gonna
Becky, you're probably going to be pissed at me for saying that. But, I mean, you know, the women finally met society's expectations. You see all these models out there skinnier than a rail trying to prove this. And women are always starving themselves because they have to look better. You know what, women? Be you. Do you. You don't have to impress anybody but yourself. But the bottom line is, society has always said women have to be pencil size. Well, these 6 women finally met the expectations, and they went to 0 weight. Congratulations.
This was...
That burned my ass.
I'm going to tell you what burns my ass here in a second. But this was a monumental
No, it wasn't.
event.
Hundreds of people have already gone up. What's the monument there? Because 6 women did it? Well, guess what? It must be monumental if 6 men do it. I mean, come on.
This was...
The first black woman did it. The first gay person did it. 6 women did it. Come on. This isn't monumental. It'd be monumental if 6 women went up and went to Mars and stepped on Mars. Then does it matter if it's a woman or a man? People keep saying, let's treat everybody equal. But then the media keeps pointing out, women finally did this. First gay man, first black man, first Asian person. We keep giving everybody these titles, and then we say, but everybody should be treated equal. Stop titling everything. Stop titling it and just say 6 people who are passengers up in space.
Big moment for Blue Origin, though. Come on.
What, you mean the penis that went up in space?
Yeah, Glenn says you're jealous because you didn't get to ride the big penis. He just said that. in
Glenn,
his comments.
trust me. Trust me. I have ridden many
All right.
things in life. I don't need to go into space. But if they asked me, I'd go. What the hell? Everybody has a number. When your time's up, it's time's up. So if you go into space and it blows up, guess what? That was the Grim Reaper saying time's up. So I'd go. Why not? But I'm not spending $500,000 or $1.5 million to do it.
Hillary agrees with you. She says it's disrespectful to the women who actually work in the field.
Yeah. Just people. Just say people.
Yeah, just say people.
You know, I watched a comedian the other day because Jed and I like watching comedians. They make us smile and all this stuff. I watched a comedian the other day that all he kept saying was, and the gays, the gays, the gays.
Yeah.
Why do you have to title everything?
Yeah.
Okay? Why does everything have to? Well, I have friends that are gay. Okay. Why don't you say you have friends? What does it matter if they're gay or straight, black, white, male, female,
Good for you. For
fat, skinny, mentally challenged, intelligent? Why does that matter so much? Okay, why don't we just help each other instead of, well, I want to give to the mentally challenged. Why don't you just give?
Yeah.
Okay, just
Good for you
stop
for saying that.
titling everything. You know, friends say to me, hey, there's Bob, he's gay. So I walk down the street and say, have you ever seen Jimmy? He's straight. Doesn't that sound stupid? So why do you have to say there's Bob, he's gay? Why don't you say, hey, there's Bob. He's a swell guy. Hey, look at Mary on the motorcycle. Well, you know she's a lesbian. Okay, what about Bertha? She's straight. Who cares?
You're so right. Jesus.
Stop, people. That's why
God.
society has so many issues. Focus
And-
on the issues that are important, like the fucking moron orange man who's destroying our country.
All right. And also, let's say this. Lighten up a little bit.
Lighten
I mean,
up.
You just called me all kinds of names. Fat, mentally challenged for getting in an ice bath yesterday. And that I don't take offense to that.
No, because it's all done in humor and
Yes.
love. Okay.
Yes.
Because I know you. I wouldn't walk up to a heavy person and say, "Excuse me, you're fat," because I don't know that person, and I'm not going to disrespect that person. I know you, and you're easy to disrespect.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, people that know me say, "Hey, gee, you know, you're a little flamboyant," and I'm like, "A little? Come on, say it like it is." Okay.
What burns my ass?
Uh-oh.
And I've featured the Barry Dunkin' Donuts guy on this segment.
We need to have him on.
I
Go on.
would love to have him on. I have talked about the automated phone prompts and how they burn my ass. There are too many things that burn my ass. One of the things was I went to see the Minecraft movie with Jack Black.
Yep.
Even my 10-year-old daughter, when it was over, looked at me and was like, "What was that?"
He's the
It
sexiest
was-
man alive.
God. Yeah, Jack Black is the sexiest man alive, and Minecraft is the best movie that has hit the theaters in years. And Jack Black is the sexiest man alive. I mean, it was horrible.
I feel
sorry.
like
It was-
Sheldon
oh.
Cooper right here on Big Bang, and I want to say sarcasm.
Wait, hold on. Give me. Yeah.
Was that sarcasm?
It's like it grossed like $65 million almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I would pay you. Literally, I would pay you to sit through it. I'll
No.
pay you by 10-minute segments.
No.
It's so bad.
Well, it's like when they said La La Land was the best picture out there, and Shed and I couldn't wait to watch it, and we watched it. And at the end, we were like, "What the fuck?"
What was when it was over, I was like,
You clapped.
What?
It's over.
I was like, seriously, there were people clapping in the theater when it was over. Like,
Yeah.
in a good way. Like, that was a great movie. And I'm thinking to myself, what if I become an old man?
Yes, we have.
Because fantastic movies or E.T., Star Wars, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the list goes on.
Well, now they make it so
But this was-
sensationalized that you can't even enjoy it anymore.
How was that a box office smash?
Because we old people don't know better.
And I'm like, what did I just waste my life on
Yep.
this planet, my time on this planet?
Yeah.
For the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sitting next to my daughter, so if she's happy, I'm happy.
Right.
Okay. So
Was
I'll
she
sacrifice-
happy?
She's 10. She was just not really. I mean,
She's like,
not
"Dad,
really.
What did we just watch?"
In the car on the way home, we discussed what a plot is.
Right.
Okay. And I was like, Minecraft is what a plot
Isn't.
isn't. I mean, it's just absolute. Like, really? Is this what we have resorted to? Is this what our society thinks
Yeah.
is a fantastic movie?
Mhm.
Are you kidding me?
Really?
Oh, my God.
Now, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to show The face I had at the doctor's office before I tell this story.
All right. You're now when G starts moving around in the couch and getting comfortable, that is a bad.
Because here comes another what burns my ass.
That's a bad sign right there. And I'm telling you all right now, I'm warning you.
Here it comes. Show my face.
I'm trying to come up with a disclaimer off the top of my head here.
I won't say the name of the place.
The opinions of the aren't necessarily the shared opinions of the Aired Out podcast.
Yada, yada, yada.
When can I just preface that I'm just gonna preface this. When G leaves his house, things change. Things happen. G doesn't just leave his house and go grocery shopping or go out to a restaurant
Nope.
without something happening.
Yep.
Am I the same way?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You can't even fart without something happening.
This is true. This is true. But you just like every time you go out, you're texting me, you're not going to believe what just happened to me. I do the same thing to you.
Yeah. Because I can't people. That's the problem is I can't people, especially stupid ones.
Yeah.
I just can't.
When do you want me to show?
Show the face so people know exactly what I looked like when I was sitting in the doctor's waiting room.
You actually took this picture and you sent it to me.
Yes.
And I'm putting it on the screen right now.
Okay.
There it is.
All right. So that's the face I had when I was sitting in the waiting room, people, okay? There were 11 old people in the waiting room. Okay? 11 old people. And I'm saying old meaning older than me. And this is the face they saw. And this man sits next to me. He must have been 170. Okay? He sat
Would
next
you
to me.
respect your elders, please?
Fuck that. You know, you get to a certain age where you don't care. He sits next to me, and he looks at me, and he goes, "How's it going?
And
What are you here for?"
And you said,
And I went, "Please don't talk to me."
gee, that's not
And
very-
I looked the other way, and he
Come
said,
on.
"Oh," and he walked away. Now, if you saw that face, why would you come over and talk to it? Because that face clearly, resting bitch face, said, "Not in the mood." And yet, that's what I had to deal with. And on top of that, I went to check in, and the receptionist, name, G. Forbes, Dana Barrett, who you here to see? Is all the information the same? And I looked at her and I says, "Can you be any ruder? Are you not at least nice when people come in here?" And she looked and went, "Pardon me?" I said, "No, there's no pardon for that attitude." I said, "You need to be much more pleasant."
You really
Name.
have zero filter.
Zero.
She went back to name?
She went, "Name." I says, "I told you already. Have a seat. Somebody will be with you shortly." I was like, oh my God. So after dealing with that resting bitch face was already irritated, and in comes, "Hi, what are you here for? What is it your business?" So I just said, "Please don't speak to me."
I mean, if I saw that face right there, if I said, "Hey, good morning. It's a beautiful day."
I would have looked at you and said, "Really?"
And you looked at me like that, like I'm seeing on the monitor right now,
Uh-huh.
I would be like, holy shit.
I'm at a
Okay.
doctor's office. Why are you asking me what I'm in for? What is it your business?
Should have coughed all over him and said, I don't know. I got some
Right? I got some disease.
got
I'm
some-
waiting to find
some
out.
rash and a cough.
Anyway, so that burns my bubble.
Wow.
Yep. I know all you people are like, "God, he's nasty." I'm not. Usually I'm not. But when I have a face like that on, clearly I'm not in the mood to chat.
This is having you in here on a Thursday morning is it's therapeutic for me and maybe others, because relatability is something that's huge. And maybe some people can't relate to what you just said, but I think some people could relate to this next item that burns my ass.
Uh-oh.
The same gas station, same pump number, hasn't had printer paper for the last 10 years.
I'm going to say that has to be over at Irving over here. Because every time I go there, they're like, if you want a receipt, go inside.
That's right. The Irving is one of them.
It's like, what the fuck, people? Isn't that part of their job?
Can I scream for a second? Because
Yes.
I'm upset.
Yes, go ahead.
Put the paper in the pump.
Yep.
I don't want to, call out any specific gas stations.
Irving at Beverage Baron.
The mobile station in Northfield.
Yeah.
But please.
Did I say that?
Put the paper into the pump.
Isn't that their job?
Why does anyone... Here's what burns my ass even more. I'm in a rush.
Uh-huh.
I need the receipt.
Right.
Now I have to go into the store
Yep.
and wait in line.
For them to print the receipt on the paper that should be outside.
Waiting in line for the 15 people in front of me that are getting their whatever they're getting, including their cigarettes and their lottery tickets.
Yep.
I have to wait in line for that.
Yeah. Well, here's one more thing that burns my ass.
Please.
Okay?
And then can I come back with another one? Because
Sure.
I got more.
We had a power outage the other day here in Barry.
Okay.
Okay, especially up by Barry Town. I think it was 2 days ago.
Okay.
It was out for like an hour or a half hour, whatever it was. I was on the phone, so I didn't even know until my husband came out and said, the power's out. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. My brother went down to a local grocery convenience store. Not going to say where, but it's at the bottom of Hill Street. Okay? And he was buying himself some wine for the evening. And he went to the desk with the wine, which was like $19. And they said, oh, our computer's still booting up. You have to wait. So my brother, who didn't want to wait, whips out $25 for a $19 bottle. And he says, here, I'll just give you the cash. Oh, we can't do that. And he said, you know what? It costs $19. Here's $25. Keep the change. And they said, we can't do that. You're going to have to wait. He paid more cash just to get the fuck out. And they said, oh, we can't do that. You have to wait because we can't figure out the change. And he said, keep the change. And they said, we can't do that. And I said to my brother, you should have said, you know what, here's $25 and walk the fuck out. What are they going to call the police and say you stole? There's the money. Come on, people. So he had to stand there and wait until the computer's rebooted. That burns my ass.
You know what burns my ass?
What?
And that was a good one. That was a good one. What burns my ass is the self-touch screen checkout. And I've complained about this in the past. Over at the Dollar Tree, there's 3 registers. 2 of the 3 have been broken for the last 100 years. And you know the Dollar Tree I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The one with the line that's 10 miles long.
Yep.
For the one working register with the clerk who has to check out everyone while the other 2 registers are collecting dust still.
Yes.
That Dollar General.
Yeah.
That burns my ass.
With the customer in front of you that has so much shit that you're going to wait 20 minutes because they're buying their entire world at the dollar store.
And you have one thing.
Yes. Yes.
But the other 2 registers have not been working for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
Fix the registers.
Yeah. I know.
Fix them.
No, because they don't want to spend the money. What burns my ass is that I even have to fucking check out myself. I went to...
But at least you can move along quicker, buddy.
You know what?
Come on.
Went to, and I'm not going to say where, but I went to the Maple Fields up in Colchester right by Costco, but I'm not going to say where it was.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, please don't. Please don't.
There
Don't.
were 3 people behind the counter. 3 standing there talking. And I went up and they said, oh, no, you just scan it right there and pay right there. And I was like, excuse me?
Oh,
You have to
God.
scan your items there and you just pay right there with your card, or you put the cash into the machine and it gives you the change. And I'm like, then why the fuck are you here?
Gee, you're worked up, buddy.
So are you.
You're worked up.
It's the number 4.
You're worked up, buddy. I'd like to shift gears to our big week dilemma.
Okay. By the way, I really am a nice guy.
Yeah. He actually really is.
I really am.
You really are. No. The big week dilemma is from Ian in Craftsbury,
Okay.
who says, please ask G what he thinks I should do about my wife and the fact that I can't park my truck in the garage because of all of her crap. It literally is so full of all of her junk she has been accumulating over the years from yard sales and whatever. See, I'd like to have the camera on your face because I see you absorbing this, and I see the connectivity, the neurons are firing.
Yep.
All winter, I couldn't park in the garage because of large plastic glow molds from Christmas and a ton of other shit. I'm sick of it. Now it's spring and I still can't park in there. She can't either. Why bother having a fucking garage in the first place? When I was growing up as a kid back in the day, the garage was where your car went, not all of your junk that you never use. We're talking about a 500 square foot 2-car garage. What say G? I mean, some people are turning their garages into Airbnbs. You know that.
Yep. I say 2 things.
What do you say?
1, be happy that shit isn't in your house. And 2, you forgot the old adage, happy wife, happy life.
Oh,
Okay? That's all I'm going to say. If your wife is happy with all that shit in the garage, your life is happy. Say something to her and sleep on the couch.
but his life isn't happy because his truck is outside. He's got snow on it.
Oh, it's a truck.
He's got leaves on it.
Listen, my husband has the entire 2-car garage as a workshop, and my vehicle has to be out in the fucking snow, rain, hail, sleet, and sun all year long, and so does his truck.
But this,
Okay?
Poor
happy
Ian.
wife, happy life. Be happy the shit isn't in the house.
I think Ian has a point here. I
Well,
mean,
Ian, build a fucking she shed for her and put all her shit in the she shed. Man up. Either you build her something to stick her shit in.
why should Ian have pollen all over his windshield?
Because his
and
wife is
truck?
happy.
Because what?
His wife is happy, and therefore he's happy. Go ahead, Ian. Tell her to throw all her shit out and see where you end up. Okay?
Some people are building she sheds for hobbies and stuff that
Right.
you know
Build a she shed for
they don't
her.
want to they don't want to hear their man complain about.
Right. Build a she shed, and if you don't have the room, then you know what? Find space in the house for her to
But
throw
hang
all
on-
her shit in.
hang
You
on
have
a
a
second,
guest
though.
room that you never use. Throw her shit in there.
Hang on a second. Isn't it the wife who is mostly complaining about his clutter
Yeah.
Now we have it the other way around here this morning.
Right.
We have
Happy wife, happy
we
life.
have a guy who's complaining about his wife's clutter.
Right.
That's not
normal.
normal.
Right. But the bottom line is, I personally would rather have her shit in the garage out of the way than in my house.
Right.
And I would personally like to see her happy. Otherwise, Ian, you're not going to get dinner. You're not going to get sex. You're not going to get anything
I know, but
because she's going to be pissed. So either
come
build her
on,
a
buddy.
she shed.
It's a 2-car garage.
You know what? Buy a fucking shed, a metal shed, and have her stuff in there. Do something like that. But don't. I'm telling you, you throw her shit out on her, and you're dead. You're dead meat. Okay.
You know, and there's others I'm sure that are going to say, I think, you know, Ian's being a dink here.
Well, he's not being a dink. I understand. I totally respect the fact that he bought a house with a 2-car garage so that he can put his and his wife's car in the garage. But things change. And if you don't like it there, say, you know what, honey, I really would love to put my truck in the garage. So here's an idea. Why don't we go out to Home
And
Depot?
leave my glow molds out in the snow?
No. Let's go to Home Depot and let's buy one of those really nice metal sheds or wooden sheds or whatever. We'll put it together and we'll make a little path from the house to that shed, and you can put your stuff in there. Okay? You need to be creative, buddy.
So that he can store his ab wheel, because he still believes that somewhere beneath that 12-pack is a 6-pack.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the ab there's the ab wheel.
Yeah.
Okay. There's
the crunch machine.
There's the crunch machine. There's the futon from college.
There's the treadmill.
The treadmill. Thank you.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
You always have to have that.
There's the aquarium.
Yeah.
The bowling trophies.
Yes.
Come on, Ian. You got shit too, bud.
Yeah.
It's not just
It's
not just your wife.
Or you know what, Ian?
You got your golf clubs.
Ian, they also have these storage things that hang from the ceiling of a garage that you can put shit on.
Yeah.
Okay. They have wall pieces that you can put on the sides of the garage inside that she can put her stuff on. Help her organize it. And if she doesn't mind her car outside, set up an entire storage area on her side of the garage.
Right.
Because she leaves her car out there, and build shelving and stuff there. Put her stuff on that side, and then you can use your side. But you need to be creative.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't just whine about it. Do something about it. Buy her a shed. Use her side to have multi-level shelving and stuff. And set up her stuff on that side.
And what about Ian with all of his old rusty tools laying around? And they're hanging on the walls of this garage like the inside of a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
What the hell's that all about?
I don't know.
God.
Okay? But
Come on, Ian.
Come on, people. So now you see there's other alternatives, Ian. I feel your pain because I can't put my brand new vehicle in the garage because my husband has both sides as a wood shop for his hobbies. Okay? Meanwhile, all my canning stuff and everything so that I can can foods and stuff like that are all downstairs in a little closet stacked up out of the way. And he has an entire garage that I can't put my new vehicle in.
Selfish.
So I feel your pain, but
selfish.
You need to find creative ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in time for Easter, which is this Sunday, Peeps.
You can't even say this with a straight face.
Peeps. Peeps flavored cheesecake. Now, you make cheesecake.
Peeps milk.
We have Peeps milk. I mean, even the Peeps haters are laughing about this. Peeps flavored milk, I'm not so sure
it's just disgusting.
that this is a good thing. I'm going to show it on camera here.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Let's see, right here. I when I saw this, I was like,
you sent it to me, and I looked through all of that shit, and I was like, this is just gross.
It says Peeps flavored milk. Sweet marshmallow, artificially flavored. I know, shocker, artificial. Ultra pasteurized, though. So that's a good thing.
Oh, sure.
Then we have the Peeps ice. Okay. Select locations only. The Peeps flavored milk bones for your dog.
Yeah.
Which
As if I would ever give my dog something that unhealthy.
Figgy would love that. They're artificially flavored. There's nothing to worry about.
Figgy only eats organic and natural.
Oh, kiss my ass. The Peeps Polly Pocket. The Peeps Hello Kitty right there on your monitor. This is a good one. The Peeps Waffle Maker and Egg Cookers.
Yuck.
So the Peeps jewelry and yeah, the Peeps cheesecake. So you're saying a hard pass on that?
Hard pass on that. Don't mess with cheesecake, people. Come on. That's disgusting.
Should we close out this morning with the stupid criminal file?
Yes, let's.
You want to do this?
Why not?
Are you ready?
I'm scared.
Well, you should be, because what you're about to hear is a true story.
What scares me is that you preface that with the word true story, which means people are dumber than we really think they are.
I know. And Becky, if you thought that the Peeps flavored milk was gross,
here it comes.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
Hold your seat. Are you sitting down?
Becky's saying that nothing's grosser than the KFC flavored toothpaste. Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, my God.
And it's right here.
Are you sitting down, Becky?
Crystal Gauss. Can I spell it? Gauss.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be transparent here.
Right.
She's 47 years old. She is a...
You can't even keep a straight face. You're trying so hard.
She is a school official in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Just had a little incident, got arrested.
Incident.
At a convenience store in the walk-in beer fridge. You know, the beer cave.
Right.
We're not sure exactly how this happened, but Crystal had a couple of beverages and decided that she needed more. This convenience store, by the way, is in Hanover, Pennsylvania. This happened last week. That's about 30 miles south of Harrisburg. This is a true story, G. I'm not
patiently waiting.
Okay. Just so you know, I'm not bullshitting.
Okay.
She went into the beer cave, drunk, and she had to poop. And she had to poop really bad.
God bless you, Crystal.
When you're drunk, and
everything's fair game,
and you gotta poop, you gotta poop
real bad
right now.
Right meow.
She walked in, pushed a case of beer out of the way.
Well, that was considerate.
Pulled her pants down and dropped a deuce on one of the shelves right there. And then, pants back up, no wipe. Back out to the SUV, drove away. Here's the worst part of this. No, Becky, I'm not kidding. Here's the worst part of this. It happened at around 5 p.m.
Uh-huh.
The store didn't call the cops until 9:30 the next morning. Not clear why they waited.
They probably didn't know until they smelled it. They probably got in the next morning, opened the fucking beer cave, and went, whoa!
The entire wall of the walk-in fridge is glass, so she didn't have any privacy, you know.
Well, she was drunk, so she didn't care.
Well, this is true. Francine can't take. She can't handle it. She's backing out. She can't listen to this. But this is our world. This is what we live in.
This is what we live with.
And of course, there's a camera inside this walk-in beer cave,
Right.
and it got the whole thing on
Oh.
camera.
God.
Can you imagine sitting in front of the judge? Crystal, is that you taking a poop right next to that case of Bud Light?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Yes, it is.
She probably pled not guilty, too.
This place does have, yes, it does have bathrooms. They're right next to the beer cave. There's bathrooms right there, Crystal.
What was her punishment?
It doesn't say.
See, now we
Doesn't
need to know
say.
what the
of
punishment
course,
is.
there's got to be more to the story.
Because if the punishment wasn't that bad, then everybody should go do that.
I know. But, gee, it's like,
That's disgusting.
think about it, though. I mean, if you really, really had to go, come on now.
No, I would, honestly, I would do it in my pants and then go home and clean up. I wouldn't do that in a public place. That's horrible. Do you know the other day I was driving with my neighbor and there was a car pulled over on the highway and the guy was outside peeing.
Yeah.
But here's the trick.
I do that all the time.
Here's the trick.
Oh, you open the two doors.
Here's or should I say, here's the rub, okay? He was standing behind the car, okay? So when we were driving, he was behind the car where we could see him.
Did he know
In
what
clear
direction
sight.
the other vehicles were coming from? He's not paying attention.
We were going this way. He was going this way. He parked on the side and was behind the vehicle in clear sight that we saw his thing hanging out. And he was peeing, not even trying to hide it by being on the side of his vehicle. He was behind his vehicle where we could all see.
Linda's saying you blow the horn so they turn around to look without thinking and then piss all over their shoe.
Yes.
She didn't read that. I made that part
But
up.
we saw it. You could see it. It's like, my God, people. We've all done stupid things out in the woods or whatever where we had to go and or even pulled over to the side of the road and, like you said, you open the car door. But this guy had no shame. So are we surprised that Crystal took a deuce right in front of a glass door? Come on. People are stupid. And all I got to say about that is, mic drop.